Today I'm going to show you how to take your trash, turn it into something useful without spending any money. You probably throw these silica gel packets away, right? Well, I have a better option for you. These actually absorb moisture, so you can use them in so many different ways. If you have a backpack or a purse, these are perfect to throw inside just to get all that extra moisture. This is really great for gym bags or school backpacks. My girls' volleyball shoes definitely need these. Now, we've tried different deodorizers, but these work just as good. You can put them into each one of the shoes, and then they can take them out before practice. Now, to keep reusing your silica packets, just put them out in the sun to dry. These laundry containers are a lot of plastic. How could you reuse them in your house? I'm gonna show you how to turn this into an organizer with a handle. So essentially we need to cut off this top part here. We wanna draw as straight of a line as possible all the way around. So I'm gonna start here by the handle just to kind of figure out where I want to cut this. And I'm just gonna eyeball it until I get all the way around to the side. Find something with a straight edge to lay down, and you're going to draw across it with a Sharpie. Repeat those steps on the other side. Now I just need to draw that same line on the back. Next, I'll use an X-Acto knife to cut along my Sharpie line. How cool is this? Let's go organize my craft room. There's so many uses for this container. I'm gonna add in my macrame ribbons into this container. If you keep losing your charger in your bag and you want to make sure you always know where it's at, consider reusing old pill bottles. I'll fold up my chargers and then I'll just place them into the container. Now when these are in my bag, it's gonna be so much easier to find and pull out. If you love crafting, you have to check out Craftsy. If you're not familiar with Craftsy, it's an online community of creatives and like-minded makers where you can find endless inspiration. And I wanna thank Craftsy for sponsoring today's video. When you go online to Craftsy, you're gonna see that they offer over 2,000 inspiring classes for all different skill levels. Craftsy classes include step-by-step instructions, plus helpful downloadable resources to make learning easy. They have classes from knitting, sewing, decorating, cooking, photography, and so much more. I think the best way to get started is to go to Craftsy's site and browse through all the different classes that you may be interested in. I'm always taking new classes on Craftsy. One that I've been loving this month is a video storytelling class. This was right up my alley and I learned so much about the filmmaking process. I love creating large wall art, and recently I watched the best class on Craftsy called Blank Wall Overhaul. The instructor had step-by-step instructions on so many interesting wall art projects. I could go on and on because Craftsy has so many great online classes. And they also put together such a great deal for my subscribers. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the video description will get a full year of premium membership to Craftsy for only $1.49. As a member, you'll have access to Craftsy's live streaming tutorials where instructors share tips and answer questions. And you can engage with the Craftsy community in real time. You can check out all the details of Craftsy below in the description box. Don't throw out your lemons when they're getting ready to go bad. Use them to clean your kitchen. It's gonna smell amazing. So take one lemon and just cut it in half. Now, my favorite thing to do with these lemons is clean my sink. I'm gonna sprinkle baking soda around my entire sink, and then I'm gonna use this lemon as my cleaning sponge. I'm gonna use a little bit of water as well, and I'll use this to scrub all over my sink. It smells so amazing, and then you can just rinse it out. These are also great to deodorize in your garbage disposal. Coffee cans are such a great thing to recycle. Let me show you how to turn this into a car trash can. You need something in the shape of a circle. This is an old lid to a container. I'm gonna place it in the center, and then I'm gonna mark around it. To start cutting, I'm gonna use my X-Acto knife. I may come in with my scissors just so I can make it a little bit more accurate. I'm gonna remove the label on my coffee can. One of the best and inexpensive things you can do to cover cans like this, well, one, you could paint them, but if you don't wanna paint them, I have a lot of this peel and stick wallpaper from Dollar Tree. I'm gonna use that to cover my canister. So the way I like to do this is there's kind of a lip right here. So I'm gonna place my wallpaper right underneath that lip on the top. Now with this wallpaper, it has a little area right here. If you just split it here, you can remove the backing really easily. This is sometimes good to do if you want to start your project and then peel off the rest as you go. We're gonna just go in and use it without the backing, so hopefully we do okay. So right here, we're just gonna make sure we put it right underneath that edge. This is a little bit trickier than maybe a canister that you could wrap. So when I'm putting it on, the only thing I'm concerned about is this top edge here. I'm not even worried about the bottom yet. And the great thing about peel and stick wallpaper is if you got bubbles or it's not going on flat, just pull it up and start again. Okay, so now that I have my top edge done, unfortunately it doesn't go all the way around, so we're gonna have to use another piece, but I'm gonna come in and just make it as smooth as possible before we cut off that bottom edge. The next thing I'm gonna do is just run my fingernail along the edge down at the bottom to get it really close to that bottom edge. And then I will take an X-Acto knife and cut off the rest of my paper. Let's see if I can cut a straight line. I did a pretty good job. Now I have this area right here. So I have another sheet that I'm just going to place along this back edge here. I think I'm gonna cut it down, fold the paper in half, and then I'll cut it out. And I'm just gonna put this on the exact same way, but it's gonna be a little bit easier because I don't have a big piece that I'm gonna have to do. So I'm gonna start here on this top edge, making it as straight as I possibly can. You do want to overlap it with the wallpaper that you just put on. This pattern fits pretty well together. You don't have to worry about making it match exactly. Now to reuse all of your plastic sacks, you can use them as car trash bags. You don't have to buy them. Just take some of your old sacks, fold them a few times, and then place them at the bottom of your canister. I also love having these because when I'm out in my car and I empty it, I wanna have another trash sack. So I'll put a few extras at the bottom, and then you're going to take one, place it into the canister, put the excess around the edges, and then to hold it in place, just take your lid. Let me show you how this trash can looks in my car. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Comment the word of the day, which is recycle. I always find these bread tabs laying in my bread drawer, and what do you do with them? Well, I have a few hacks you can try. If you've ever tried to pull off masking tape or duct tape, it's a little hard to do. I showed you a hack where you could do this with a paper clip, but you can also pull your tape back like this and then put a bread tab on the end. That way, anytime you want to use your tape, it's already ready to pull up. These bread tags are perfect for labeling your cords, especially on your power strips. If you don't know what the cords are or what you have plugged in, just write on here what the cord is, and then you can wrap it around your cord. It's an easy organization hack and you didn't spend any money. If you're like me, you don't like throwing away your fancy containers. This is a container that's glass. It has my Nutrafol vitamins in here. I don't want to get rid of this because it's so nice. It has this really great lid on it. So how could I reuse this? Well, first I want to cover it. So I'm going to take some of my washi tape and wrap it around. Since the washi tape is a little see-through, I'm gonna wrap it again in another purple color. Now you can store your favorite bathroom essentials in this cute little jar. These Lysol containers are so good. Now you've probably seen people use these as trash cans. Let me show you how you can make craft room storage with these. Start by removing the label on the front. how great do these look with the labels removed? You could use these all over your house. You're not gonna have to paint them or wrap them or do anything. I do wanna label them just because they have this lid. I will know exactly what's in there. I have one of these peel and stick Dollar Tree papers. This is kind of that wood grain finish, and I'm just gonna use this line right here to cut down the middle. Okay, next I need to determine about how big I want my labels to be. Don't want them to be too large, about right there, I think. So I will just fold it over. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'll use this as a template to make the other 3. So I'll cut this one, then I'll just use this as my template to cut 2 more. Next, I'm just going to label these with what I'm gonna put in each of the containers. Place on the labels. I'm just gonna place in my craft supplies into each of the containers. Before you take your old mugs to the thrift store, consider using them around your house. You can turn a mug like this into a planter. You just have to add a drainage hole. You want to place your mug into a pot like this of water. Place it into the water, covering it, but leaving an air bubble underneath. Next, you need a nail, and you're going to hammer a hole into the bottom of your mug. Now, this could crack, so don't do it on a mug that you absolutely love. Okay, first attempt, I cracked the mug. Let's see if I can do another one. Again, don't do it on a mug that you really love. Mug number 2, I'm gonna go really easy on this one. I think I did better on this one. I was able to get a hole in the bottom of the mug. Now I can plant with this mug. You're gonna need a little saucer. This is the lid to a Pringles can. And then I'm just going to place my plant inside. As crafters, you guys know we are constantly reusing all of our containers. Like this container has a label that says Capri Jean. Well, I'm not using it in my closet anymore, but that doesn't mean I can't use it for crafting. Right now, I'm going to soak these jars in there. Several of my kitchen items I keep, like this pot right here, I use this for borax. Right now, I'm using it to soak something in water. This is an old kitchen container that I use for molds and making candles. So before you send your items to the thrift store, consider if you can reuse it in your crafts. We all know that you should save your glass jars when you're done with your pickles. This was a jam that I had, but one of the most frustrating things is removing the labels. Let me show you an easy way that you could remove your labels. So you want to soak them in water. I'm going to put a little bit of Dawn dish soap, and then I'm going to add in some vinegar. And then I'll just place the jars in there until the labels will just soak off. It also helps with cleaning and disinfecting. So submerge them in the water, and then you're just gonna rotate them around. It's gonna loosen up all the glue. I also added in some hot water. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. So I'll let them sit for a little bit and we'll come back to them. You should be able to remove the labels after they've soaked for a little bit. And if you have any glue that won't come off easily, you can just let it soak a little bit longer. Most of the labels are going to come off pretty easily and just rub right off. You can also use a scraper if anything's being a little stubborn. Once you have the labels removed, you can use these for all kinds of things. They're great for food storage or organization, or you can use them for some of your favorite florals. What's the best way to reuse your hand towels? Turn them into cleaning rags. This towel, my daughter wiped slime on this towel, so it's not coming back to life, but it's a good white towel and it'd be great for cleaning. So I'm gonna cut this into 4s, and then I'm gonna have 4 cleaning towels out of this one hand towel. Now I have 8 new cleaning rags. I got a bathroom storage idea with your Pringles can. You're gonna need your favorite decorative wallpaper. This bird one from Dollar Tree is so cute. You're gonna start by peeling off the backing, and then I'm going to place the wallpaper right underneath this silver lip at the top of the Pringles can. All right, I'm gonna cut this off. I want it to overlap, but just by a little bit. And then I'll continue wrapping it around. I'm gonna cut it off to where I have about 1 centimeter. And then I'll just wrap it. Well, let me show you how to use this in your bathroom. How cute is this container for storing your curling iron? We all know to save these containers, but what are you supposed to do with them? Primarily people use these as food storage, but how are you supposed to know that you have grapes in here instead of cottage cheese? I like to label, so you can use washi tape, or if you just have painter's tape, you could use that as well. I will link to this set down below. So you just wanna pick out one of your washi tapes, and you're going to take a piece and put it over the front, or you could do the side. And then you'll label it with its contents. Let's make this into a first aid kit for my car. So I'm just gonna put in things I need, like Band-Aids. I also have some Neosporin because we're always needing that. I love the lids on these little butter containers. And then I'll just put a red cross on the front. Before you throw your paper towel holders away, consider using them in your craft room. I'm gonna cut my paper towel holder, but I don't want them to be the same size. So I want all of my containers to sit next to each other, so I'm gonna hot glue them together. Actually, I think I want them to be like this, so I'm gonna hot glue this way. Next, I'm gonna wrap it with some Dollar Tree ribbon. I'll wrap it around the front, and I'm not gonna hot glue it until it's on the back again, but you just wanna pull it pretty securely and then cut off the excess before you hot glue. And then just fill it with your favorite pins. I would love to know how you turn your trash into useful items, so let me know down in the comments, and make sure you subscribe because I want to see you back here, and I'll see you in our next one. Bye.